everyone, a very warm welcome to Smiley Kids channel. Today we're going to see Class 10 Mathematics Polynomials Chapter 2 Exercise 2.1. So let's begin. The graphs of y is equal to p of x are given in figure below for some polynomials p of x. Find the number of zeros of p of x in each case. So in this question, we have 6 sub-questions which ask us to find the number of zeros and they are just giving us the graph. So how do we find the number of zeros? Just by looking at the graph of the polynomial. You must always remember that the number of times the graph intersects the x-axis, those many zeros will be there. Let's suppose say my graph is like this. So here we observe that this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, isn't it? Now we observe that this particular parabola touches the x-axis 3 times. Hence, the number of zeros of this particular polynomial will be 3. So how many ever the times the graph is touching the x-axis, those many number of zeros will be there. Now let's have a look at the first question. This is the graph of the first question. Now we observe that this line is not at all intersecting the x-axis. So do you think there is any zero for this particular polynomial? No, there is no zero. This is because the graph is not intersecting the x-axis at all. Hence, there are no zeros. Moving ahead, we have the second sub-question. We already know the fact that how many ever the times the graph touches the x-axis, those many number of zeros we get. So in this particular case, if you observe, we have only one such point where the graph is intersecting the x-axis. Right. So how many zeros are there? There is just 1 zero for this particular graph. Now have a look at this. We observe that in this particular graph, we have 3 zeros, isn't it? Here we have 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3. That means we already know that how many ever the times the graph intersects the x-axis, those many number of zeros we get. So here we have 3 times the graph is intersecting the x-axis. So we have 3 zeros. Moving ahead, we have a small parabola. Now you observe, we have how many zeros? We have 2 zeros. Here we have 0.1 and 0.2 which are intersecting the x-axis. So how many number of zeros do we have? We have 2 zeros. Then we have such a graph where we are able to find 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence, the number of zeros of this particular graph are 4. And always remember that how many ever times the graph intersects only the x-axis, those many number of zeros we have. It doesn't mean that if it intersects the y-axis, we have 5 zeros. No, we have just 4 zeros because we have 0.1, 2, 3 and 4 which intersect the x-axis only. Then we come across this graph. We have 1, 2, 3. Isn't it? Now, this is 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3 which are intersecting the x-axis. So again, we have 3 zeros. So I hope you all understood the concept that If the graph intersects the x-axis at 2 points, then we have 2 zeros. If the graph intersects the x-axis at, let's suppose, say 10 points, then we have 10 zeros. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much. Watch our next videos of Polynomials exercise 2.2, and for that, please subscribe to our channel, Smiley Kids.